Today, I'm going to show you how I took my basic sloper and created this design. This is part of a mini series. Last week, I had episode 1 where I went over my experience and lesson learned in creating my very first sloper. And now I'm going to talk about my experience in creating this first garment from that sloper. I'll walk you through how I created the design, what changes I made to the sloper to create this pattern, what fitting issues I had, and what I would do differently next time. Let's dive in. But when you work from a sloper instead of a commercial pattern, you have no sewing instructions to follow. That's why I carefully curated and created for you this list of sewing order of construction to follow for any garment. The download link is in the description below. So this was the starting point, the sloper that I created. This is the very first sloper I created. You can see all the changes I made and all the calculations I had. That's the front and that is the back. So it's not too complicated, but you can see the first one I created went down to the hip. I now have changed the way I like to do things, and I prefer to do slopers just to the waist and then create this skirt part separately because I have bigger hips than my waist proportionally. So I like to have bigger darts here in the bottom than at the top. So that works better for me. And then what I did is I took this, because this, I don't want to change this, and I put it onto I traced it over onto this paper, filled out all the important numbers, what all the measurements were, just so I don't have to remeasure everything. I labeled it, I put the date that I originally did it, and same way for the back. And I used this for a while just to see how that works out, if I have to make any changes. And then ultimately, I put it onto cardstock. And I do have a video, I'll put a link in up above, of how to change your paper patterns into cardstock. Cardstock just lasts a little longer and keeps it nice and clean, but I only move it over to cardstock once I know it's pretty firm. This one I don't use anymore though, because I've created many more slopers since then. And my shape has changed a bit. So, I have a different one now. And just to give you an idea, these are all the versions that I've created. I've made minor modifications over time to this sloper. I would find things and I would just create a new version. I would put revised 5 just so I know what version I was on. So I wouldn't keep changing the original, because I might want to refer back. Maybe I make a change and it doesn't really work. So then I go back and I can have the original still. Then I take my sloper and I trace it onto another piece of paper, because I never want to mark up my sloper. Once it's on the paper, I'm going to work my way around it. We'll take all of these out from underneath so you can just see the one. I'll work my way around. So if we transfer this over to another piece of paper, I usually start up at the neck. And for this one, I wanted a boat neck, so I brought it out here. I would bring it out here saying I want a nice boat neck. And there are rules for making a very wide neck, which I followed. I can have another video going into that, because it's a little bit, some things you have to take in consideration. And you have to consider if you want to keep your dart here. I have some added ease in here, so I left the ease as it was. And then I wanted to lower this to come down to a flounce. And so I have to figure out how deep I want the flounce to be, and then how far I want this to extend once I add the flounce, where it's going to hit me on the leg. So those are all kinds of things that I considered, whether or not you want to keep this in here or not. I kept this dart in here. And then I would add my sleeve. And with the sleeve, I took it to 3/4 of a sleeve, and then I added a flounce there. And for a flounce, you have to create a circle. I created a circle, And I have a whole video, which I'll link above, that tells you how to do the measurement for a flounce. And here's the pattern that I created from the sloper. I had traced it onto a piece of paper. And you can see here, I made a wider neck. I decided to move this bust dart to become a French dart here. And I ended it at the waist. I wanted to have a waist seam. And here's the skirt that goes with it. So here's your waist. And I decided how long I wanted the entire skirt to be, where I wanted it to hit on my legs. And I also did this flounce. So, you have to decide how deep you want your flounce to be. That's just all a matter of preference. And I had to, this will be a full circle here. You can see it comes out into a half circle. This is the front, and then there would be a half circle for the back. I have a whole video of how to do the calculation for a flounce, and I will link it up above. So this would go on to here, so you can see how long it's going to be. So you have to do these calculations. It's all a matter of opinion, how you want that to be. And I just left my regular ease in here and just brought that out a little bit. And I added a sleeve. This is my regular sleeve pattern that I did a 3/4 length. And I added a sleeve flounce. Again, I had to calculate what this distance is here so I can figure out what I have to do, the measurements to get this circle. So this is the front part. This is a full circle, and I'll attach that to the sleeve. So I didn't make too many changes to the sloper. A few modifications. You typically just need to make a few things and it'll give a completely different look. You'll see in the photo that I'll show that this dress looks very, very different than the original simple sloper would be. And here I created a very, very simple sketch. Back then I was just doing it in this notebook. I have lots of different sketches and swatches in here. I've since organized this a little bit better. I have a whole swatch book tutorial. I'll put the link in the description above. I have a very nice swatch book now that you can see how I've created. So you can see it's all much nicer. And then I also have a nicer way to do the sketches. But when I started, I just did something very simple. So you don't need to start with anything super fancy. Just a piece of paper is fine. So I did a quick sketch here. You can see I did the bateau or boat neck. I wanted to have a 3/4 sleeve and then the flounce on both of these. And then I decided, I put the measurements here. I wanted this to be 12 3/4 down to here. And then I was going to do a 9-inch flounce. So I just created all of these quick measurements so I could figure out, like, this arm flounce is 4.5 and I wanted 2.5-inch seam at the shoulder. So this just helped me visualize it to start. And then, as I discussed, when you create your own slopers, you do not have the order of operations or any sewing instructions. So this is where I started creating my sewing instructions. So I knew exactly how I would go through and sew everything. And I've since tweaked it and moved things around. You can get the link to this, my final, after I've had many trial and error, the order of construction for any garment. You can download that link in the description below. And then I come back afterwards and I make notes. I say that when I originally made it, any issues I had, and then I continue, adding any notes. So if I want to make this again, I will know what the issues were. I put down how much yards of fabric I needed, and so how much it ultimately took. It took about 2.5 yards, and I started with 3 yards. And here it is, my first design using my very first sloper, and I love it. A lot of lessons learned, but it's wearable. I love the design, and I got a lot of compliments the first day I wore it. And here's the whole garment. I bought a Ponte fabric from Mood Fabrics. and it was very, very soft, and I really loved it a lot. And I lined it completely with also a red stretch lining. You can see I have the flounce on the sleeves and at the bottom, and they just give a nice swish when you walk. So I sewed up the entire garment and I tried it on, all seemed well. Then I wore it the first day at the office and I started discovering some issues that I had. For instance, we had gaping at the neckline here, and it would just keep pulling back. It would just shift back. All of my garments for a very long time did that until I finally figured out what I needed to do to fix that. But I tried to put in a dart here and, to try to fix this gaping neckline, but that didn't work. So I eventually just bought some new fabric and I made adjustments to the pattern according to the rules that you need to follow for a wide neckline. And I just created the whole garment again. And that worked out really nicely. So it was so much better. And I hate wasting fabric like that, but it was my first garment with the sloper. And well, it really wasn't a sloper issue. It was really a pattern issue. And there were some sloper issues that I've since fixed, like the pushing back, everything pulling back. But that took me a few more tries. You saw how many different slopers I had, and eventually I fixed them all. And now my slopers are in really good shape. If you want to learn how to make adjustments to an existing sloper, check out this video here. And if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to download the order of construction link in the description below.